me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill the...
Okay, what is going on, everybody? And happy New Year's to everybody out there. Welcome back to the Juggernaut Show. And today, I am going to be reviewing AEW World's End, which was on pay-per-view this past Saturday, which was December 30th, 2023, the final AEW pay-per-view of the year. And I have to say this. AEW World's End, I mean, it was a fine show. It was a fine show for what it was. But it was definitely not the best show of the year for AEW. It wasn't the best show because like this show was basically a three match show with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage for the TNT title. The Continental Classic final between Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley in the main event with MJF defending the AEW title against Samoa Joe. That's really all I need to watch on this show, to be honest. Because, I mean, like, the big thing that was, like, really wrong with this pay-per-view was, like, there were too many 8-man tag team matches on this pay-per-view. And, because, this recently got done with the Continental Classic. And other than that, this card didn't really have a whole lot of substance, outside of the Continental Classic. It wasn't built up that great. And it seems like the crowd, they were just waiting for those 3 matches to come on. And then the crowd finally came alive for those last 3 matches. So yeah, that triple main event there that they did. But I mean, it was a good show for what it was. I mean, they tried their best on here. I gotta give them, their due here. Gotta give them the credit. Yeah, I think it was a decent show. But let's quit wasting time and let's get started with this review. So, we're not going to talk about the 0 hour. We're not going to talk about any of that. Well, we might talk about the 0 hour later on, but we're not going to talk about the 0 hour right now. So the first match that kicked off the actual card was an all-star 8-man tag team match. So this was the losers from the Continental Classic, except for Andrade because he was having a match with Miro later on in the night. And so, yeah, except for Andrade. But we had, basically, it was the face team here. I thought they were going to do like Gold versus Blue League. I thought that's the best way they could split it up. But I kind of like the way they had the teams here. Face versus basically heels. We had Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson of the BCC with Mark Briscoe and Daniel Garcia is going up against Brody King, Jay White, Jay Lethal, and Roosh. I mean, this was a fun match. You had a lot of different styles in here. You got to see some people from like the Blue League mash up with like the Gold League. I thought that was pretty cool. Daniel Garcia was definitely the MVP in this match. He was taking a lot of beating also throughout this match. Mark Briscoe, he was coming in doing some pretty nice moves. Hitting some nice hot tags. Brody King, he was definitely a monster in this match. I kind of like the way he was talking down to Daddy Magic, Matt Menard. I kind of like that. It kind of reminded me of when Braun Strowman was doing that one time when he was like this running his mouth and he was just doing all that stuff. It kind of reminded me of Braun Strowman a little bit there. Danielson, he was pretty cool seeing him. He was basically kind of this is supporting role here. He was just like helping, doing whatever needed to be done in this match. Claudio and Brody King, they went at it pretty good in this match. Claudio throwing those nice uppercuts. But towards the end of the match, everything started breaking down. Everybody was just hitting their finishers left and right. Um, it was actually Daniel Garcia's who ended up picking up the victory for his team. He countered a lethal injection into like a jackknife cover. I thought that was pretty cool. So I mean, it was a fine opener. This was your better 8-man tag team match out of the second one that we have later on in the night. But I mean, this was a fun match. Um, yeah, this was a pretty fun opener. Like I said, there was a couple way too many 8-man tag team matches on the show. And after the match, we got some comedy stuff, like with Daniel Garcia's and Mark Briscoe doing the dance, you know. Um, and they were saying that Daniel Garcia's was like MVP of this tournament, even though he didn't. He only won one match. He spoiled Brody King's tournament. So Brody King, he was pissed because he could have been in the going for like he could have been in the semifinals, but instead it was of course Danielson and Eddie Kingston in the semis. But yeah, Brody King, he was just pissed at Daniel Garcia's throughout this whole match, wanted his revenge on him. But no, it was definitely a fun match though. All right, and then the next match we have here was Andrade El Idolo versus Miro, which Andrade had CJ Perry in the corner of. Andrade had CJ Perry in the corner, and so basically this whole storyline was like Miro. He's just been pissed because CJ Perry, his wife, has been managing other people other than him, like been supporting other wrestlers other than him. And Miro, all he wants to do is win. That's all he cares about. He doesn't want to lose to anybody. And Andrade, I feel like he's upset, right now in AEW because there's rumors that he wants to. Well, people saying that he's going to end up showing on Monday Night Raw tonight, but I don't see that happening because I think he has till like June on this contract because Andrade he missed a few dates because with some like injury and stuff. So I think he has to finish his contract up until June of 2024 here. But yeah, this match here, this was definitely an interesting match. You had CJ just trash talking Miro quite a bit in the match. They were just arguing back and forth. And Taz said something good on commentary. He said basically, this is like looking live, seeing like into their living room, which that was great. The kind of vision that and stuff. Seeing them air out their dirty laundry in front of everybody, basically. Yeah, so you had CJ just talking crap to Miro a lot during this match. Andrade, he was doing some nice dragon screws throughout this match. Miro, he was just being that heel he does. There was this one spot in the match where Miro he went flying over the announce table. Um, that was a pretty cool spot in the match. There were some nice submissions in this match. With not Andrade, but Miro doing the accolade to Andrade. It's nice trying to get out of submissions. So that was pretty cool. But the ultimate swerve came towards the end. Andrade he had he's trying to do the figure eight. But CJ Perry kind of like she kind of like grabbed Andrade's arms, like kind of like wouldn't let him do the bridge. So she basically turned his back on Andrade, and then Miro did a super kick, and then did the but then locked in this submission and won the match. And so now Miro and CJ Perry, they were back together then. So yeah, Miro won the match. It was a fine match for what it was. Nothing too crazy. I was saying on my live stream, I was saying loser has to go back to WWE. But yeah, it was fine for what it was. And then the next match we had was the AEW Women's World Championship. On the line, we had Tony Storm, timeless Tony Storm, defending the title against Rio. And in the corner of Tony Storm, we had Luther. Yeah, I don't think much people cared about this match. I mean, people like the character of Timeless Tony Storm. People like Timeless Tony Storm, but yeah, people knew that she wasn't gonna be losing here. Um, Tony Storm and Luther, they did a pretty nice like kind of combo thing where Tony Storm was like on the shoulders of Luther, and then rammed Rio into the ring post. I thought that was pretty cool on the apron. Um, people care more about Tony Storm's character than they do really about Rio, to be honest. I mean, Rio, she did, she's a little bit nimble. She's small in the ring. She can move pretty quick. She had a pretty nice comeback towards the end of the match, but in the end, Tony Storm ends up retaining. She did this like this kind of like DDT, kind of like this inverted DDT, like over Tony Storm's back. That's how Tony Storm won, which was very interesting. This like inverted DDT. But yeah, Tony Storm won. To be honest, I felt like they should have did Tony Storm and Saraya, just to end off that whole feud between the Outcast and Tony Storm. I thought that's what they should have done, but hey, we'll see where they go. Hopefully, in the year of 2024, they can do better with this AEW women's division because they need like. And Tony Khan has went on to say that in 2024 he's going to be diving into like the free agency of for like the women's division. So hopefully they pick up some big names this year. But we'll see what happens though. Tony Storm won though. And then the next match we had was Swerve Strickland going up against Dustin Rhodes. So originally this match was supposed to be Swerve and Keith Lee. But Keith Lee, he had some medical things going on. He was unable to compete in this match. I think he was supposed to be at Dynamite, but he wasn't there at Dynamite. So hopefully Keith Lee's all right, with everything's going on with him. But yeah, so before the match, Swerve Strickland, he attacks Dustin Rhodes, brings out a cinder block, smashes the leg of Dustin Rhodes. It looks like they're about to take Dustin Rhodes out, but he wants to he wants to fight. He wants to do this match. If it was me booking this match, I would have just like done this quick and painless. Made this a quick squash match. Yeah, because they were just trying to force us on us here, force Dustin Rhodes, to fight back and all that. They were just forcing it on us. Also the fans hated when Dustin Rhodes hit Prince Nana. They booed Dustin there, which I gotta say, Swerve is one of the most over wrestlers in AEW. People are so behind that. Swerve when I drive, doing the whole Swerve when they drive. I mean, people are so behind that. Yeah, but this match here, I gotta say, what Swerve said, it was a waste of time, and it was a waste of his time too. Because after the match, I mean, Swerve ended up winning the match. He hit the Swerve stomp, but after the match, he says, he basically said, "Hey, this was a waste of time," and he said he wants to be next pay per view. He wants to be champion, and um, I definitely see him becoming champion here. But yeah, um, Swerve won this match here. Next match we had was the other 8-man tag team match. So to be honest, I wouldn't done the 8-man tag team match because originally it was supposed to be Jericho and Omega going up against Big Bill and Ricky Starks. I would have done Sting and Darby versus the tag team champions and had Sting and Darby win the titles. Like to put some belts on, to put the belts on Sting and Darby. To put the belt on Sting, for his last time, his last few months wrestling. That's what I would have done. But no, instead, you had to have the same man tag team match, which, of course, there's all these allegations going around with Chris Jericho. And every time Chris Jericho got in the ring, they just booed him. They were, and there was a sign in the crowd said something about sign NDA or something like that, which terrible, terrible, terrible. But yeah, Jericho, every time he was like trying to do moves in the ring, he was just getting booed, you know, really bad. They were chanting for him to F off. They were chanting F you to him. Yeah, they were just not fans of Jericho here. But yeah, I mean, the match was fine for what it was. Takeshka, it was nice what Takeshka and Darby were doing this match. I was like when they were locking up. Big Bill, he was, being a big monster in this match. Uh, Sting, people really pop for Sting. They did pretty nice double submissions when Sting and Jericho were in the ring. You had Jericho doing Chris Jericho, walls of Chris Jericho, and you had Sting doing the Scorpion Deathlock. So that was pretty cool. Those double submissions. Um, he even had the Stinger Splash and stuff. So basically, trying to send Sting out. This is the last time he's going to be wrestling in New York. So want to send him out on a positive note here. But Sammy Guevara, he ends up hitting the shooting star press onto Ricky Starks to pin him. So maybe it looks like the Latex Gods, Sammy and Chris Jericho could be maybe new number one contenders to Big Bill and Ricky Starks. Maybe, like I said, I would have done Sting and Darby. Just to throw the belts onto Sting and Darby. For the last few months for Sting, but that would have been me. But yeah, this match was not as strong as the opening 8-man tag team match. Yeah, not as strong here. But we'll move on to the next match. Oh, here we go. We had a TBS championship match. We had Julia Hart defending the title against Abaddon. And I gotta say, as the fans were saying, this is spooky. They were doing some spooky stuff in this match. I mean, Abaddon, they were doing some okay stuff in this match. I mean, they were doing their like weird, creepy stuff in this match. We even had Sky Blue get involved, tried to take out Abaddon. Julia Hart hit the moonsault and the retainer title, and then Julia Hart and Sky Blue they go off and got more of this like goth kind of faction or tag team going on. I mean, they are part of the House of Black. I mean, Sky Blue isn't, but maybe she eventually joins the House of Black. I don't know. But yeah, the crowd did not really care much for this match at all. They didn't. I mean, they tried to invest a little bit into the match, saying this is spooky, but other than that, and also there was biting allowed in this match because this was a house rules match. But other than that, I mean, it was just an average match. Nobody really cared for it. I gotta say, both women's matches were kind of the weak links of the show. Yeah, I gotta say that right now. Yeah, both women's matches were. I think this actually no, I think the AEW women's match was a little bit better. But yeah, this match here, yeah, they just didn't care because they knew Julia Hart wasn't going to lose. We just knew that she wasn't going to lose here. But yeah, and we'll move on to the next match, which was the No DQ TNT Championship match. Christian Cage defending the title against Adam Copeland, or better known as Edge, for his time in WWE. And I gotta say this: so Edge, he came out in his WrestleMania 22 attire, the one that where he faced Mick Foley in Chicago in the Extreme Rules match. Yeah, so this match was fun. You had a lot of crazy spots in this match, like crazy spots that I think like these guys should not be taken. Um, I like the stuff that they were like, and also in the corner of Christian Cage, you had Mother Wayne and Nick Wayne there. So yeah, but yeah, I really like the fighting in the crowd that Christian and Adam were doing. Um, some really nice camera angles with this dive off the off like this balcony area. I thought that was pretty cool that Adam did. You had a really dangerous spot like Christian Cage did a sunset flip power bomb off the off a ladder, which yeah, with Adam's neck problems, I don't think he should not have been taking that. Like if this was WWE, they wouldn't have been taking very many of these spots here. But then Kong goes like, "Yeah, you go ahead, dude. Do whatever you guys want to do." um, also there was it was Adam. He got busted open like on the side of his like kind of like orbital bone, and it was like puffing up really bad. It was looking pretty bad, and commentary was talking about that quite a bit. You had a lot of chair spots, with the crossface, and then with the like this bar that Adam Copeland was doing, like with the chair. I thought that was pretty cool. It was like in Christian's mouth. What else did we have? Oh yeah, we had this table spot, and they were chanting for Flaming Table, which they were chanting for fire. I like, what if they do fire on my live stream? I said they're gonna do fire, and guess what? We had a fire spot, which you always have in the back of your mind, go like, oh man, hopefully these guys don't get hurt too bad. Hopefully they don't get caught on fire too bad. Um, but yeah, they did the fire spot with Adam and Nick Wayne. Well, first Christian, or first Nick Wayne tried to light it, but the flame went out because it doesn't last very long. It gets dried out. So Adam had to relight it, and they did this power bomb through the table with Nick Wayne. So Nick Wayne went through the table. His more of his ass went through the table. His ass got lit on fire, literally. But the table didn't break at all. It kind of botched a little bit. It wasn't the cleanest looking table spot. But thankfully, nobody was hurt too bad in this spot here. Um, yeah, the chemistry between Adam and Christian were really good here. Adam even ended up winning by the. He even ended up winning by the I'm prettier or the kill switch to become new TNT champion. So we got new TNT champion. But then after the match, so the winner of the over the top rope battle royal to become number contender for the TNT title was Kill Switch or Luchasaurus. So he won that match on the 0 hour. So basically, this is kind of being like a Money in the Bank, like so. Luchasaurus or Kill Switch, he was being like the ultimate opportunist, like trying to take away from all the times that Adam Copeland did that. But Christian Cage, he finally came to and said, "Hey, no, I want to sign that." He says, "I'm going to sign that. I'm going to take this title match." So Christian signed it. He took the title match and pinned Adam Copeland 1, 2, 3, and so he had a second TNT title match, and Christian is the TNT title again. He's a champion again. I thought it was weird how they booked it. I wasn't a big fan of it. I mean, it's cool when Luchasaurus came out, choke slammed um, Adam through this steel chair, and then was beaten down a little bit. But like, why did they just have not have why didn't they just have Christian retain? That's what I would have done. I would have had Christian retain the title. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a fun match. This is when the show started like getting good. Right here. But yeah, this was your better stuff on the show. All right, and then the next match we had was the Continental Classic Finals. We had Jon Moxley going up against Eddie Kingston. which he was putting his New Japan Strong title on the line and his ROH title on the line through this whole tournament. Now, I gotta say this wasn't the most attractive finals for the tournament, but hey, this made the most sense. And also, we had Danielson on commentary, and Danielson was saying how like all the mistakes that he made, like that match against Eddie Kingston in the semifinals, how he should have been doing all this technical wrestling, and how he said Mox shouldn't be making mistakes like he did. But yeah, this was the best match of the night in my opinion. Best match of the night here. Also, this is a well-deserved win for Eddie Kingston because out of all the 3 matches, John Moxley has won all 3 of them. All the times that they faced, John Moxley has always won. So this is well-deserved for Eddie Kingston here. This is a big moment for him also. Yeah, this was a really fun match. Eddie Kingston, with his chops that they were doing were really nice. There were some scary spots when Eddie Kingston, he tried going for a tope suicida. He ended up like hitting his head like onto the barricade, like on where it showed like content where it showed World's End on the barricade on there, like the LED part. In the pin head on there. Looks like Eddie was kind of concussed. I thought they were gonna have to like stop the match, and even commentary was saying that. And there were even parts where Moxley, he's really selling his leg. It looks like he had a bad leg injury. But yeah, it was just a really stiff match. Both guys, they have really good chemistry here. It was a really fun match. Um, just after that whole like tope spot, Eddie had basically full control of this match here moving forward. And you kind of knew that Eddie was going to be winning here. You just knew it because that after that promo on last Wednesday, basically giving Eddie Kingston that motivation, basically saying that, hey, you're going to win, trying to give him that motivation to win the match. But yeah, Eddie Kingston won in that spinning back fist. We're looking like Kenta Kobashi here. Very, very much like. But yeah, this was definitely fun here. I really enjoyed it. Now the modern triple crown winner and the Continental Champion, Eddie Kingston. So now he's holding 3 titles. He's holding 3 titles: ROH, the New Japan Strong, and the Continental Championship, or the Triple Crown title, which is pretty cool. So I'm wondering how that's going to be defended going forward, because it's definitely going to be interesting. But yeah, definitely fun match here. Best match of the night, in my opinion. I think this is like the biggest moment in Eddie's career, and also it's basically it's in his backyard of New York. So yeah, fun match. All right, and then the next match we had was the AEW World Championship on the line. MJF defending the title against Samoa Joe. So now the whole big thing surrounding this was who was the devil? Who was the devil? But we actually got the reveal who the devil was in this match here. Also, Samoa Joe, his character work was great in this match. Being the heel that he is. People were on the side of MJF. The crowd was on the side of MJF, saying he's our scumbag. And like, I love the whole opening thing, like where they had people from Long Island basically talking about MJF, basically saying that he's our scumbag, basically praising him up like a god. Yeah, but MJF and Samoa Joe. But before the match starts, we had Adam Cole come out. Adam Cole, baby, to go be in the corner of MJF. Also, by the way, Adam Cole was wearing all black. He was wearing all black here, by the way. Yeah, which it made a lot of sense for Adam Cole to come out to be in the corner of MJF here. Also, MJF, he was all taped up, his shoulder, his ribs he was just in bad shape. I think MJF, he gets real injury going on. He needs some time off. But yeah, MJF, he was just doing a lot of selling in this match. This definitely was not the best main event match this year for AEW on pay-per-view. Definitely not the best main event match. Yeah, MJF was doing a lot of selling in this match. The match really started getting exciting when they did the whole like ref bump with Bryce Remsburg. I think that's when the match really started getting going better. But like the whole ending came down to when Adam Cole didn't give the Dynamite Diamond ring, like right away to MJF. Like we didn't give it on time to MJF, and then Samoa Joe had him in the cookie clutch, and MJF passed out. And when the referee raised his hand for the third time and his hand dropped, we got new AEW World Champion in Samoa Joe. And I gotta say this, the fans were pissed. They were pissed that Samoa Joe won. They didn't want to believe that Samoa Joe won. They were upset. Because this is MJF's hometown of Long Island, New York. Yeah, so they were upset. Yeah, so afterwards, they were chanting bullshit. They were upset. And then we had the masked man come out, basically try to take out MJF and Adam Cole. But then the lights go out. And then you got Adam Cole sitting in a chair in the middle, and then you got those masked men. You're like, yep, you knew that Adam Cole was the devil. You just knew it all along that he was the one being the devil. And then all of them unmasked. And so you got Roderick Strong, Wardlow, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett as the masked men. And then the devil, you have Adam Cole. And then they just jump MJF, and MJF goes like, Why'd you do this to me, Adam? I thought we were friends, basically being all sympathetic, being all like, why'd you do this to me? Yeah, so they just all beat him down. And then by the end of this, Adam Cole, he pulls out the devil mask. And yep, he was the devil here. And that's how the show goes off the air. So it's definitely gonna be interesting moving forward with this whole faction here going on, like with the devil, with Adam Cole. I mean, I knew it all along because I said in my predictions and on my live stream, I said that it's going to be Adam Cole. If it's not Adam Cole, then it's a complete bust. If it's not Cole, and it was Adam Cole who was the devil. And people were saying, "Oh, what if it's Tony Khan who's the devil?" that would have been some Vince Russo type of booking. Or they were saying, what if it's Jungle Boy? What if it's Ryan Nemeth? No, just none of those guys. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, but thank God it wasn't any of those guys who were the devil. Thank God it was Adam Cole, because that was the right move to do. But yeah, that was AEW World's End for you guys. That was my review of the show. Yeah, so then those are all the shows for AEW this year. Yeah, that was the final pay-per-view of the year for AEW. So yeah, if this is your first time ever checking out my channel, hit that subscribe button. That really helped me out a lot. Also, hit that like button. Go down in the comments, tell me what your thoughts on the pay-per-view were. And yeah, tell me what your thoughts were on the show. Also, follow me on all my social media platforms. Go follow me on X and Instagram at the True JSB. Once again, it's at the True JSB. And also, I got some more videos to do for you guys this week. I still have to do my top 10 best matches from 2023 for AEW and WWE, because I just been really busy these past few weeks. So stay tuned for those. Stay tuned for those top 10 matches. If I don't get them to them by this weekend, then I probably won't even do them, because it's basically be old news after that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, that was my review for the show. We got some big things in store for 2024. I'm excited for it. Can't wait. With my podcast, with the Juggernaut Show, stay tuned. We're going to be doing weekly shows. We're going to be doing predictions still. Going to be doing reviews, retro reviews. Just stay tuned. But this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I will see you guys later. So peace.